Hey YouTube, Testarossa 101. Getting ready to start the conversion for the 125 gallon. You're wondering probably, why does this dude have a garbage can sitting in here next to his aquarium, which is over here. Just getting all my materials together. I got 5 additional buckets. Of course, the other protein skimmer with the pump. Got some air pumps in here in this bag, along with some hose, airline hose, and just getting ready for the conversion, basically. The fish, I'm going to have to probably, and the corals, I plan on probably going out and getting some of the bags, so that once I switch the water over, add the additional salt water, that I can float them to temperature acclimate them once I get it filled, and the water basically to about 78 to 80 degrees in the new aquarium. The bags are going to be for all the corals, actually. Much more for the corals than for the fish. The way we're going to do this, we're going to take the orange ocellaris, these little dudes, put them in a bucket along with their anemone. They've slept in it like on and off, but during the daytime they're not really in it. Another bucket will contain the black ocellaris, the 2 of them along with the rose anemone. Keep them comfortable. The 2 tangs, the yellow-eyed coal and the yellow tang, will go into an additional bucket, so that's 3 buckets right there. The little green chromuses and the 6-line wrasse, I'll put them in a bucket, and that's about 4 buckets right there. Everything else will go in bags, all the corals. And oh, here's a surprise. Since I lost my copper band butterfly and she had decimated the Hawaiian feather duster, guess what? Part of that joker was still under that rock, so it's starting to come back. So I'm kind of happy about that, seeing that Hawaiian feather duster peeping its head out. So, bingo, there's another one added back into the tank. All the rest of the corals, as I said, they'll go in baggies. The rock itself, other than this little mushroom here, and what else? I'm not sure if I'll even care about that little tiny piece of Galaxia right there, because I've got another one with a bunch of heads on it. Those will all go in baggies along with this, what is that? That's acan. And it's got about 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got about 5 heads on it now. Before this move even gets underway, what I'm waiting for is for the rock, the additional rock that I purchased, to finish its cycle. Once it finishes its cycle, then I'll start moving everything around. I'd like it to occur within, maybe 3-4 hours before I'm ready to start temperature acclimating everything. I know that's a progressive schedule. Emptying this tank, getting all of the water into the trash can along with the rock, separating all the corals, getting all the fish captured and placed in different buckets, moving or removing this tank from its position, because the 125 will go in this position. Then filling it, adding the rock, adding the sand, along with some additional sand that I have to wash, and getting the temperature back up, then reversing the whole process, basically. Taking the fish and returning them into the aquarium, reacclimating or just temperature acclimating corals. I've got a couple of air pumps I'm going to put in the buckets with the fish to keep them kind of vibrant. And I'm going to go to my local fish store and get some of the baggies and probably bag them up before I even put them back in the tank, because I might want to temperature acclimate them again. You never know. These thermometers aren't really that accurate. But the only thing we're waiting for now is the additional rock to go ahead and finish cycling. Once the cycle's done and I have a good output on nitrate, I'll do a rather large water change in the pail or Rubbermaid container that I have that rock in to make sure that it's good to go, and start reassembling everything. For now, everything in the tank is going pretty much as scheduled. Unfortunately, as you know, I mentioned in an earlier video, my little, I think she was my my showpiece actually, my little copper band butterfly, finicky. Got her to eat. She was thriving, and then all of a sudden, just poof. Christmas Eve, she was floating toward the top of the tank. Still don't know why. Asked the guys at the local fish store. Took my water down there to make sure that my tests were accurate. They found no fault in the water conditions. She just died. So, I don't know. Also, prior to standing up the 125 gallon, I plan on probably getting a powder blue tang and introduce that along with the rest of the fish at the same time. Try and keep the stress down, try and keep the territorial disputes down. In fact, it'll be all new territory because the entire aquascape will change. Planning on pretty much sort of like a wall, like over here. On one side, a little emptiness toward the middle, and building another wall on the right side. We'll still keep the anemones in one corner and the other as I have them now. And hopefully it'll turn out alright. Hopefully everybody will be satisfied. Everybody will be happy. As you guys know, it costs us a lot of money to purchase these fish, and when we have a death in the tank, it kind of not only just hurts in your pocket, but you know, you sort of get attached to these little critters. So once again, I'm going to tell you, whenever you add any additional rock work to your aquarium, especially if someone tells you, oh yeah, it's ready to go in your tank, it's cycled, it's good to go, blah blah blah, even if it's base rock. Sometimes you can get base rock and it's not exactly cycled, you know, it's something that someone took out of their tank, they dried it out, it's turned white, and they call it base rock. Don't believe it, okay? Cycle that rock anyway. Put it in a tub, add salt water, add a pump, add a heater, heat the water up to at least 80, and then do your tests to see if the rock is truly cycled or not. Because if you wind up putting rock into your aquarium that is not cycled, depending on what you have in your tank, those critters might be affected and you might lose some. Matter of fact, I'll put out a video right after this one showing you how I'm cycling this supposed dead rock that I bought. It was supposed to be dead, but it wasn't. So this is Testarossa 101. Be back in a little bit with another video. Signing out.